Meeting 7 for Zoom today, so.
Okay, well, it's 5:33. Terry, do you want us to get started?
Yeah, that'll be perfect. And then I will just admit those ones that are tied up and not here right now.
So Terry's actually chief in charge of this event. She's done a phenomenal job of putting it together. And we are ever so grateful to have her as part of our chamber team. Good evening and welcome. Business Fireside Chat. I don't know about the fireside part of it in May when it's 20 degrees out or whatever, but it's okay. My name's Nicole Clark. I'm the president of the Penticton and Wine Country Chamber of Commerce. And it's my honor and privilege to welcome everyone here tonight. On Thursday, March the 12th, I, along with about 65 other business people, went to Sumac Ridge Winery for a business after business. 4 short days later, I arrived at my office and was told to go home. We're working virtually. And just like that, everything changed. Our language changed. All we hear is stay home, self-isolate, practice social distancing, wash your hands, don't touch your face, cough into your sleeve, essential travel only go grocery shopping once a week, and only one person from your household. Suddenly, we had all sorts of new rules to live by as people, as families, as business owners. So over the past 8 weeks, I think it's 8 weeks now, crazy. It's actually gone very quickly. I've been speaking with business owners, following local businesses on social media, and of course been out in the community once a week doing my shopping. I lie, I go more than once a week, I'm sorry. I just don't go to the same store. And through all of that, I've been super impressed with how innovative people are, how the community has come together and become super collaborative. Everybody is working towards the goal of successful Penticton. Not just the businesses, but the community as a whole. And just so impressed. And through that, I have seen some outstanding examples of businesses that have pivoted or kept their doors open and made us feel really safe to come in. We have Travis on the line tonight from Home Hardware. And I really wanted potato bags. So my husband built me a greenhouse and I have raised beds and it's really cool. But I wanted potato bags. So I went online to Home Hardware and ordered them. Super easy to go in the store, pick them up, felt totally safe and cared for by the staff there. And so Travis, we're really grateful to have you on the line tonight to share some of the things that you've been doing. We also have, who do we have? We have Paul, the amazing Paul from Brodo, best tomato basil parmesan soup in the world. Thank you very much. He was just telling me about his date night deal that they've come up with during COVID. And so my husband and I will be doing that next week. Vanessa from Pure Gym and Juicery. So you had to close your gym, but you've managed to continue doing some things, and we're really excited to hear about that. And of course, Pat from Cannery Brewing. Yes, I admit I have Cannery Brewing beer in my fridge, and I will be having one after this meeting. So very happy to have Pat with us, and Kim Lawton, who does some of the cannery's marketing, or maybe all of the cannery's marketing. I think, Kim, you're here to sort of give some guidance in that area as well. So welcome to all of you. Terry, do we have an order that we're doing this in?
Yes, we do. And at this point, we're just going to turn it over to the HEK Yeah team. They have the list, and then we're going to kind of go through there.
Oh, and I should also thank the team from HEK Yeah for stepping up and helping us out here. We are not the techie types. They are. So thank you all, and enjoy the evening.
Thanks so much, Terry and Nicole, for having us do this. I'll be moderating throughout the night, and Christy will be on the back end getting the questions that are coming in ready so that we can then get those answered. When each of you will have 5 minutes to talk, when we get to the last minute, I will do, oh, maybe not that, since apparently it doesn't want to work, but I'll have a sign with a 1 on it or something. Maybe I'm not going to do my background, but something will come up at the 1 minute mark so you kind of know that you're getting to the end of your time. And we will start with Paul from Brodo Kitchen. I'm just going to unmute you, Paul, and then you are good to go.
Awesome. I'm ready to go.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me be a part of this. You know, definitely strange times the last 8 weeks. So, you know, we had a few points here that we make some notes on and let everybody know how we've responded. So, you know, at Brodo, we, you know, quickly realized what was going on, and I was out actually delivering a lunch and actually drove by Jeffers Fries and kind of thought, I need a food truck like right now. So I got back to the restaurant, you know, discussed it with staff and such, and we came up with the idea. You know, we were fortunate to have a sliding windows in the restaurant, so we essentially just kind of created a little mini Brodo out by the sliding doors. So the windows there. So you know, we did that on March 18th, and unfortunately, we did still have to lay off most of the staff. So it's been myself and my restaurant chef, Liam, and we've been offering the full menu, and it's been going, you know, surprisingly well. We weren't sure how that was gonna go, and it kind of brought me back 8 years ago when we first opened Brodo, to the nerves that you have when you first start a business, and you know, is this gonna actually work? And so it was kind of, yeah, it just kind of gave us those types of feelings. And you know, but we, you know, soon realized that after, you know, 2-3 weeks went by, how fantastic our community really is, and the support that they've given us. So whether it was in gift cards for later use, or just coming by, and you know, one of the main things that we were doing were the 1 liter soups to go for people at home, and we were delivering them. People could come up and order them through the window. It became really popular. So so yeah, so that's you know, that's typically what we've been doing as far as an operation point of view. You know, that's yeah, we're operating, you know, slightly different hours. It's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. You know, 9 o'clock, we open up the window with some baked goods and coffees, and we just started our Vietnamese iced coffee today. So that's was kind of exciting. Some more things to come as well. You know, as far as like steps taken to make customers and staff feel safe, you know, we've been asking all the customers to pay by debit and credit, and we haven't been accepting the cash. You know, we've been using all the local distillers sanitizing sprays. So that's been good. And people have really appreciated that as well. We had a BC, the ambulance service pop in for lunch one day, gave us a couple pointers as far as wrapping our terminals in plastic, and other little tips and that. So, you know, that was always good to get the feedback from people. So as far as, you know, making the staff feel safe, it's just Liam and I. So we feel, you know, we've both been isolated at home with our families, and just the odd trip to, you know, local like wholesale clubs and things. So I think we've been pretty safe in that regard. And customer feedback, it's been all positive. People love the window setup. It's, you know, it's quite inviting. It's, you know, again, kind of fortunate that we have, you know, good visibility down Main Street and that. So that's always, you know, worked out really well for us lately. As far as, you know, one of the points was team wellness, schedules, kids, mental health, layoff, and hiring. You know, like I mentioned, we had to lay off most of the staff. You know, we are looking at now returning 2 cooks to the team as we move forward into planning for sort of a slight reopening, possibly at the end of May, maybe beginning of June, once everything is organized and we feel like we're ready to go. So that's that. Different things that we've been doing is we joined locomotive delivery service out of Summerland, offering those 1 liter soups. So that's something we will continue later on. So that's been fantastic. Concerns, I know I have a short time left here, but you know, concerns are, you know, just dealing with guests that may, you know, look like they might have symptoms, and just that maybe how we're going to deal with those situations. So just lots to think about for sure. So yeah, no, we're you know, just trucking along, and you know, if you have anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Paul. That was perfect. My buzzer went off just as you were saying thank you.
Awesome.
Next, I'm going to bring on Pat and Kim from the cannery. 2 secs here. And there you go. Hey, Pat, I also clicked I'll ask you to turn on your video. Did that work?
Well, I can try. It's not working. It was there when I first opened this up, but it is saying it's failed to start. I was going to try and see if I could get on my phone here.
Okay, so we'll get you going with what the cannery has been with working during COVID.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry I don't have the video part working, but I can certainly speak to where we've been in these absolutely crazy times. As Paul says, it's just astounding to think of where we were the beginning of March and where we are now, and how that looks, and how that looks every minute of the way through all of this. Every day I feel as if we're walking on marbles. Every day I feel as if it's changing exponentially, and you think you've kind of got a little bit of a handle on it, and the next day everything is totally different, and you're okay. Well, that's gone now. Let's try a new tack for us. For us, certainly the most immediate thing was closing the tap room. That had to happen right away, and for us in our industry, closing the pod around our brew staff was the next really big thing. Fortunately, we have a brew team that are mostly young family people, and they closed around their own family pods, and so we were able to insulate them very quickly, and I think pretty effectively. And that has enabled us to keep brewing. And the brewing industry is unique in that sense, in that we're making a product that extends and keeps going, and has to keep going. For us to have had to close all of that down would have been really catastrophic in so many ways, and would have taken probably 6 months, if not a year, to try and recover from. So that was really important for us. It also enabled us to keep packaging product that could go out to the community. And again, just as Paul says, this is such an amazing place. We are so privileged to live in a place with such astounding community support. People wanting, as Paul found, to buy gift cards, people wanting to buy local beer in their beer and wine stores or in the government liquor stores, people wanting to come and purchase product from us here. We quickly had to shift all of that setup to getting rid of the growler fills until we could be certain that we could absolutely handle them a completely secure way. We moved just into packaged products, into cans and bottles. Quickly were able to set up Shopify, which fortunately they weren't relying on me to do because that would have taken forever. But we were able to set up a Shopify that enabled us to have curbside service for our people. So they would call in their order, or they would put their order in on Shopify, come outside, pop open their trunk, and we would plunk their order into the car, and away they would go. Some people didn't even want us putting it in the trunk of their car. They wanted it left on the sidewalk so that they could pick it up and do it. And you just make that work. You make whatever everybody's level of comfort is as you go forward. You try to work around that. Of course, had to redo all the sanitizing inside with everybody else, along with sanitizing all of your handheld devices and your counters and your doorknobs and your fridge doors and all of those kinds of things to make that happen. And we were able to make all of those things go. Like Paul, we found that we had to get rid of the cash and move just to credit card and debit. And the Shopify made that easy for a lot of folks to be able to do that. That step online was incredibly helpful. We moved to a very small number of people within our tap room, partly because the tap room itself wasn't open and the kitchen was completely closed. And so those people also became part of our internal pod of folks as we struggled to keep the number of people in this building together. Is that my one that you're showing me there, Harpreet? Mm-hmm. Okay. Customer feedback. Lots and lots of positive customer feedback. Just amazing. As I said, this is an astounding community. The negative ones have been mostly, why can't I get my growler filled? And where are my nachos? And where are my pretzel plums? Without a doubt, those have been the big thing. Our team wellness is huge for us. Our team is astoundingly important to us. One other thing that was really important to us was to try and speak to our broader community, to the people in our growler club, to the customers that deal with us, and to try and tell them where we were, what we thought was happening, both on a provincial level, in a country level, in a Penticton level, and in a canneries level. So we tried very hard to make that connection as well. Concerns going forward would be about the economy itself. Concerns going forward would be about another uptake in not flattening this curve as we go through the next steps. Is that my time there, Harpreet? Is that noise that you're making there?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Thanks, Pat.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'm just muting and unmuting here. Next, we will be having Travis, sorry, is it Loudon from Home Hardware? Sorry, Travis, if I got your name wrong. There you go. You should be live.
No, that's right. You got it right on. So similar experiences to what I've been hearing so far. We went into this on March 13th. I think it was Friday, March 13th, at very normal business operations. And by the Monday, we had to make some pretty large changes that we rolled out over the 2 weeks following that. We have a group of 6 stores here in the Valley and some stores in Alberta that are locally owned with myself and a group of 3 other partners that live here in the Okanagan Valley. So we've had a WebEx meeting every morning at 10 a.m. during the week and have discussed this and have a pretty lengthy plan that we've put in place for all of our stores. Some of the challenges that we faced are we had during that week or the couple of weeks prior to that, we had employees going out of the country on vacation. So we had people returning from out of the country, and of course the ask was that people are staying home and self-isolating for 2 weeks. Also, any employees that were sick, had any symptoms related to the COVID-19, we were asking them to stay home for 10 days as well. along with guidance from health authorities. So we've been averaging between those circumstances and folks who have gone home due to underlying health conditions, we've been averaging about 15% of our staff off during all of this in all of our stores, which has of course been challenging. So some of the things that we've done and implemented over this time, of course, were things that have been seen in other stores, but anything from the plexiglass shields at the cash desks so that we could maintain separation in areas where we couldn't physically maintain the 2-meter distance. We also implemented very quickly curbside pickup. So we had to make some changes with offering that service. We didn't have wireless pin pads to take out to the parking lot and process transactions. So we had to order those, put a process in place. We started wrapping all the pin pads in plastic and had a cleaning routine for those as well. We had to come up with a whole process for doing curbside pickup, and how do we train the staff? How do we do that? How do we process the transactions in our point of sale system, because it's not set up to handle it? So we did a really quick learning curve on that process and implemented it, and it has been used steadily since day one of implementing that. Some of the other things that we've done are in line with other large retailers as well. So paying all of our employees what we call hero pay. So there's a $2 an hour premium that everyone who is working is being paid during this time. And that's been in place now for about a month and a half, and we plan to continue that until we get back to some form of normalcy. So when we first started this, there was of course a lot of economic uncertainty, and with that comes a slowdown in building, typically a few months following. And so we cut everyone's hours. We didn't do any layoffs, but we cut hours back by about 15%. And we rolled with that for about 3 weeks, and then have now gone back to full hours for everyone. And so now everyone is back working full time. We've had a substantial increase in business from past years, particularly in garden center and do-it-yourself home projects where everyone's sitting at home and working. So along with that has come the need to be very mindful of staff that have kids at home that are not at school, and personal wellness that other folks have mentioned as well. And I think I'm about out of time there. So.
Thank you so much, Travis. And now we will go over to Vanessa from Pure Gym and Juicery. There you go, Vanessa.
Hey.
Be unmuted there.
Thank you. So thanks so much for having me on here, you guys. I thank you to the Chamber and to Heck Yeah. I find that things like these are so helpful to connect with other business owners, and to just hearing your experiences is really helpful. So far, everyone we've heard from sounds like they're still open. So for example, we are not. We closed on March 17th, I believe. If you don't know where we are, we're the gym that's located in the Penticton Lakeside Resort. So when we closed on the 17th, when we are in full swing operation, we're close to a team of 30 people. So those first couple days when we closed, those were rough, right? So I'm sure they were for everyone, like figuring all of these things out and navigating what in the heck is going on. We spent the first couple days just making sure our team was okay and making sure that they were getting everything that they needed to get their EI. And then very quickly after that, we we started focusing on like, okay, how are we going to control our business during this time? Because revenue just comes to an like immediate halt, like no revenue's coming in, but we still have all these expenses and charges and all of the regular operating fees that businesses have. So for us, we have like a huge customer management database and payment processing systems and music subscriptions and all these things. So we spent a couple days just like getting a grip on our business and just making sure we were setting ourselves up to weather the storm. By the weekend, we had so many requests for equipment rentals and spin bike rentals. It was unbelievable. So that weekend, we really quickly came up with a plan to rent out our spin bikes. By Sunday, we had, I'm going to say, I think it was probably like over 70 spin bike requests. We had all of our spin bikes rented out and out the door by Tuesday. So within a 7-day period, we had all those things done. So with renting out the spin bikes, it's been awesome because A, it's given us a little bit of revenue, which a little bit helps big time, covering a few of our operating expenses. B, it's keeping us connected to our members, that it keeps that community feel of what people come to the gym for. It's that connection with the instructor. It's the connection with the other riders in the room. So we wanted to keep that going. So we started doing live spin classes on Instagram. Every day at 9 or 5:30 p.m. we have a live Instagram spin class, and then that video gets uploaded to a Facebook group, and they're all free. So we have a little over 200 people in our Facebook group now. So it's open to anyone. I know we have a lot more than just our members in the group. So anyone can participate. And in terms of reopening, I feel like that will probably have a lot of details yet on what that's going to look like. Can obviously make assumptions based on what is going on around us. But I do feel like that will likely be one of our greatest challenges. Last week we put out a survey. Oh, am I frozen? No, I'm good. Last week we put out a survey to all of the Pure members to kind of put our feelers out because reopening is around the corner for us. We put a survey out and we had 469 hits on the survey, which was crazy awesome. Just to get an idea of like, are people scared to come back to the gym? Are they excited? What are their main concerns? Do they want to wear masks? Like, we wanted to just put the feelers out there to see what the major concerns were. People are so excited to come back. Obviously, given that we will be taking absolutely every precaution necessary over and above at our business. So yeah, like I said, like I feel like that still we have yet to see what that's going to look like for us. What else do I have here? I feel like one of the most positive things for us is that it's kind of forced us to look at our business and all the different areas of our business, because when you're in, as you guys know, in business mode, you're kind of like foot's on the gas the whole time and you're just like forward, everything, what's next. So I feel like this time forced me to look at all the different areas and departments in my business and figure out, am I time up, Harpreet? Figure out what's working for us and what's not, and then just trying to adjust what's not working for us and what is. My time?
Yeah. Thanks. So what I'm going to do now is Christy has some questions that had come up. So I'm going to make each of the presenters a host so you guys can unmute yourselves when to answer the questions when it is time. So just so you guys will know that. And Christy, do you want to get started with the first question?
Yeah, sure. So we had a couple questions come in. The first one is, how much latitude do and should we have as individual business owners around when to open?
I might be able to maybe answer that one. I'm wondering if jumping on that WorkSafe BC webinar tomorrow morning, they might be able to have a better, more clarification on that. And if they don't have the answer, at least then they can direct us to where that might be. So I will share that link for the webinar. It just popped up today. So it is tomorrow morning at 9:30 and it's hosted by the Kelowna Chamber, but it is with the WorkSafe BC team. So I think they might have some answers for us, and if not, direction for us to go. Hopefully that helps your question.
Perfect. Thanks, Terry. So the other one we had was obviously people have different situations at home that they're dealing with, and different levels of anxiety about returning back to work. So one of the questions was, I'd like to know what the staff anxiety levels are for those working with public. Yeah, anyone can take a shot at it if they want.
If it's okay, I was wondering from Travis specifically, because you have quite a few staff and they are dealing like directly with public. Have you had any issues with people coming to your management with anxiety or worries about, you know, getting sick or just whatever, just day-to-day stuff?
Okay, sorry, challenge is unmuting myself there. Yes, certainly we have had concerns from staff members about all of that. That's been one of the things that we focused on our 10 o'clock webinar every day with all of the managers, is talking about those issues. A lot of the issues have been brought forward by the employees, and we've taken that information and changed our operations as a group of stores and shared those best practices so that we could do things to keep people safe. So one of the examples was, we have customers going out to our yards with a piece of paper to pick up materials, and they were handing it to our yard staff to load them up, but that requires them to get closer than 6 feet. So we had a suggestion from an employee that we have customers put that copy of paperwork under their windshield wiper and pull around to the yard, keep their windows closed so there's no contact. So that's just an example of something that came from an employee that we implemented in all of our stores.
Thanks, Travis. Anyone else have any thoughts into that? All right, we'll move on to the next question. How are all businesses increasing their hygiene? So how often are you cleaning bathrooms, doorknobs, all that stuff?
I can certainly speak to that. For us, it's almost nonstop. At the very beginning, when we were first doing everyone coming in the door, before we kind of had a Shopify set up, and we were really set up for this curbside touchless drop and pick up setup, we were sanitizing virtually every time someone came in the door. So the counter itself, all the handheld devices, anything that anybody was touching was being sanitized. And I think that we've pretty well kept that up. It's a rhythm that works the best for us. In terms of the rest of the warehouse for us, with a limited number of people in there and without the public in there, we do a major clean in the morning and then a major clean at the end of the day. And then any surfaces that have had somebody else in the building or around, we redo it at that point. I don't know that there's really hard and fast rules that will come out of this as to how often you should do that. So we just tried to err on the side of being overly cautious.
Travis, what are you guys doing? You know, with Home Hardware being such a bigger space, how do you guys deal with making sure things are getting sanitized and whatnot? That might be a good idea for some of the businesses to know.
Sure. So some of the things we're doing is, first of all, we have hand sanitizer available right inside the store. We're asking that everyone who comes in uses that when they come into the store and when they exit the store. We have it at the desks. Also, we're cleaning, like I said, our pin pads every time someone touches those. After every transaction, we're cleaning cart handles and basket handles after every use. We're cleaning, we have a cleaning schedule for all of the high touch surfaces in the store. So appliance handles, any door handles, bathroom surfaces, we're cleaning multiple times a day. We have janitorial services in the evenings doing a deep clean every night. And we've provided all of our employees with their own hand sanitizer and masks if they want to wear them, with rubber gloves as well. So we're doing a lot there. We have a plan that's about 8 pages long of all of the stuff we're doing as a group of stores. Lindy, I saw your question about having employees that feel uncomfortable coming back to work. And sharing that plan with the employees that are on the edge about coming back to work has certainly helped in many cases. Sharing the plan of what we're doing, all the precautions we're taking, and the cleaning regimen that we've implemented has helped a lot.
Christy, do we have any other questions?
Nope, that was all the ones that had come through besides the ones in the chat. Looks like people have been answering those too as they've seen them come through.
Lindy had one here. She was asking about how parents feel about childcare. Lindy, do you want to maybe elaborate on that a little?
Sorry, yeah, I was just wondering, like, for both ways, for people who are working and having to put their kids in childcare, if anybody here has kids of that age, how do you feel about putting your own kids in childcare to go back to work? Or do you have any staff who would have to put their kids in childcare to go back to work and would maybe choose not to because they don't feel comfortable doing it? Just in general, either way, from a staff perspective or a personal perspective. I'm the only sad person who has children here, isn't it? No, Paul, you have kids.
No, you're not the only one, Lindy. There's
I'll throw myself out there since I got one here. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, been a big topic of conversation, and for us personally, we're pretty leery about it. Personal situation: Shania is 3. Her older sister's 9 and in school. Her older sister has really bad asthma though, so that's kind of one of the things to kind of watch out for. Also, my mom, grandma to the kids, is normally our childcare provider, but she is immunocompromised. So kind of in a tough boat there, because, you know, we could get a stranger or like a childcare center or something who we have no knowledge of. But then we're, you know, potentially bringing that into the home. We've just started kind of opening up grandma visits, and we'd like to be able to keep doing that. So yeah, we're reluctant at this point. We kind of want to see where things go once other people do it.
Okay. Then let's just see if there's any other questions that popped up on here. I think that's it for now, unless anybody else has any other questions they'd like to say, or if they've got any comments they want to make before we end here. Kim? You're muted.
I just thought of one question about events for anyone who does any kind of an event. given the guidelines and how we are living in so much uncertainty, is anyone starting to think about events for next year, or tentatively putting things in place?
I'm at the Shatford Center, and I'm starting to get requests for rentals. So we're starting to think about what that could look like. But again, going back to the question I had in the chat, we can distance people, we can tell people to use PPE, but our biggest question is, how much cleaning do we have to do in the space? How often? And does it then become cost prohibitive to rent our spaces?
And what kind of time frame, Kim, are you getting inquiries about?
Somebody asked me about renting on Friday. So, you know, people are eager to gather. People want to have meetings, which we understand. We're not ready to take that step yet. Yeah, so it's something we have to try and figure out as quickly as we can.
We're on the virtual event side of things ourselves. We, you know, had a lot of events planned this year that we've had to cancel, client appreciation dinners, that sort of thing, and we've moved everything to digital. You know, trying to mailing packages and having, you know, the chef cook and demonstrate and have people cook at home, and just different craft thing and seminars is what we've been doing, because I don't think we're going to have any in-person events for our clients, probably not this year.
I have a question maybe for Allison or Kim too, but about like when we're opening up and how sensitive everybody is to everything. Yeah, I have some fear about, there's always complainers out there in the world who are going to complain about anything, and now things are like super hyper magnified. And so, you know, if they see that you aren't cleaning something properly, or I don't know, a perception of you not doing something properly, or one of your staff members gets too close to somebody, or yeah, and then it goes out on social media, or it goes, you know, on a TripAdvisor review or something like that. Like, those are really big concerns for me as we open. And so I don't know if anybody has any feedback on that side of things, because it could just be one tiny little mistake that a staff member makes that could just throw everything off for you.
And sometimes, Lindy, it won't just be a mistake in the part of a staff member, or a mistake within that. There's also this huge need to get your customers to buy in. For example, when we open up this tap room, it cannot open up like it was before. The rules will not be the same. It can't be the same. Somehow we have to get those customers buying in to what is the new way. That we can't pull these tables around, we can't pull these chairs around, and how do we get that buy-in from them in a positive way when you really end up in this almost chastising position? And that makes it hard, and then that becomes something that translates to the next person, and as you say, becomes something that ends up on social media in some negative form. So yeah, it's a real concern, I think.
Nicole? You're on mute.
For Vanessa, with your survey results, can you share some of the concerns that your members have about the gym being reopened?
Yep, for sure. So we had 469 hits on the survey. It was about 73% of everyone who replied felt comfortable with coming back right away, which kind of blew me away, but also kind of scared me. I would say the biggest concerns are, and so many had none. There was no concerns. It just said, as long as, you know, everyone is respecting the physical distancing, there's hand sanitizer, everyone's cleaning before and after. Most people did not want to wear a mask. What else did we ask? I would say the main concern is just cleaning, because I think in the past, I mean, our normal, we have over 100 people like easy in and out in a day, right? So with classes or that's just classes, it's over 100. So maybe 200 people a day coming in and out. So we know it's not going to be that anymore, but gyms are so high touch. So it's going to be really like retraining everybody when they come in, doing a full like procedural walkthrough of what the new process and what the new procedure looks like, to make sure that everyone's comfortable with being around people in the gym.
And I guess the other question I have for you, Vanessa, you said you have a team of about 30.
Mm-hmm.
What concerns does your team have about coming back?
So they're getting more comfortable. We've stayed really connected with our team. So just doing Zooms and having FaceTimes here and there just to stay really connected to everybody. I just spoke with one of my front desk people today and asked her all of these things, like, what is it that you need to have in place? Like, what is it that you want to see us have for you to feel comfortable being back? And she said that she feels comfortable that we'll do everything that we can to make sure that we're keeping our team and our members safe. We've hung plexiglass at the front. We're going to only online enrollment. Like masks are available. We've got physical distancing stickers. We've taken out gym equipment so that every piece of equipment is 2 meters apart. Like we're literally doing everything. So I feel like, yeah, as long as we're communicating all the things that we're doing and making it so clear to members that come in, to anyone that comes in, this is what the process looks like. I think, if we're doing everything we can do, it's the best we can do.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that our amazing Allison Markin has posted that having a crisis communication plan in place will help. And she says, message me, everyone can, for a template and a few statements I've been working on. So thank you so much for that, Allison. I'm just going to say as well that Community Futures hosts a daily chat from 10:30 till 11 on Zoom, and a variety of business leaders, business people, Andrew Kemp, our MP, MLA. We've had, just about everyone show up at one point or another. We're there every single day, and the whole idea behind that chat is to make sure that people are up to date with what happened overnight that affects the business community. So I'm going to invite everyone to join us on that. I'll just put the very long link that I should have shortened somewhere in the chat.
Nicole, we did have a question asked that if businesses are allowed to reopen without getting the what's the word I was looking for here?
Plan approved?
Or the Work BC guidelines come out.
Andrew, are you still here?
I am still here.
I'm going to let Andrew take that one.
Thank you. Leave me with the hard questions.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, as I understand it, they should not be opening. They are supposed to have an industry sector approved guideline, and then they should have created their own guidelines. Now, WorkSafe BC does not, will not be approving every individual business's guidelines. They are working with those industry sectors that Kim and others had outlined earlier to go sector by sector and create approved plans. So the BC Restaurant and Food Association has been one of those leaders to get a plan very early in the process into WorkSafe BC in the province. And I'm really hopeful that that will allow restaurants and pubs and bars to open quite quickly in near term. And I think I think Kim was commenting that we're hoping early June for that. So I would encourage all businesses to continue to follow within those same guidelines and rules. Ultimately, I'm going to always be pointing back to the WorkSafe BC and public health guidelines for the business community to follow, and I would like everyone else to do the same. And so I would encourage as many people as possible, like I said earlier, to kind of drive home the idea that we are following those guidelines and that we've got a protocol set in place. So I'm really happy to hear about all the work that Pat's doing and others to try to build the confidence for the consumer, but let's do it the right way. That's my personal perspective. Maybe not a full City of Penticton perspective, but I think that's appropriate, the direction we should be going right now.
Thanks, Andrew.
Any more questions?
I just wanted to share one more thing. I had somebody email about a shuttle, which I was excited about because it's just good that things are moving. And then we were emailing back and forth, and then I realized he was from the States and he wasn't planning to come until later in the summer. But personally, I went from like being excited about this shuttle to feeling like, I don't want you here. Like, please don't come. And so I think like being conscious of, as a community, of that people are coming and they are planning on coming, and also how we are treating those people who are coming. And I just think it's something, I just want to plant the seed of something to think about, because I did have that feeling of like going to be happy that he was a customer to almost being like, actually, no. So I'm just putting that out there. And I don't know if anybody else has any experience with that, but being in tourism, it's a big thing. If the borders are closed, that's great. But even people coming from Vancouver, I saw, a couple at the gas station from Vancouver, and I was like, why are you here? So, throwing that thought out there as well.
Does anyone have any other questions for anyone in the room? Harpreet, you're going to wrap it up?
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And thanks to the Chamber for putting this together. It was great to hear from Paul, Pat, Vanessa, and Travis about some of the things that you guys are doing in your businesses. And I'm hoping everybody got something out of this that they can take back as they get ready to reopen their own business. And hopefully we'll be seeing each other out and about a lot more. And I think we've got our next Chamber event is going to be the Business After Business, if I'm correct. Am I right, Terry?
Yeah, for sure. We're going to host our first virtual Business After Business on the 21st, and that will be with Great Estates. So definitely please register, as you'll also have that opportunity to pre-purchase wine, and the wine sales will close on Sunday. And we will be also putting up the list of the 3 restaurants that we'll be partnering with for that. And they're restaurants that pour wines from Great Estates. So we want to definitely support them, and just wanted to make sure we thanked all of you for taking the time to join us tonight for our very first Fireside. The Chamber is working very hard trying to meet the needs of all the businesses and all of our members and businesses that are not even Chamber members within our area. Diane has worked very hard on the back end with lots of partnerships and alliances across the valley. And if you've not had an opportunity, we do encourage you to check out Okay, We Got This. So that is the chambers from South Okanagan all the way up to Enderby. And there is the alliance, and the vision and the mission is that all chambers across the valley are there to support everyone, because we can't just have Penticton strong. It needs to be strong all the way across the valley, because we all offer different unique products and services that keep BC strong and the Okanagan strong. So I encourage you to follow that. And if you have any of those amazing good share stories, share them on there. We just can't watch them all. And it's just to celebrate the good. We're tired of, we got to focus, got to move forward with the road ahead and what we see ahead. And we got excited when we hear those good news stories. So we do encourage you to share those. Hopefully you will attend that Work BC webinar tomorrow. I think it might answer some questions for people. And once again, thank you so much. And reach out if you have any questions to the board or to your chamber team or ambassadors.
We do have a few board members on the line here tonight, so I'll just get them to give a wave if their camera's on. We have Marlene Trenham and Lindy Hill. Is she still here? Oh, well, there you are. And Joseph, give a wave. So thanks to all of them. And of course, our executive director, Diane, is here. There she is. And I guess just if any of our presenters have any last points they want to toss out there, now's your chance. Nope. Everyone wants to go for dinner and a glass of wine, right? Or a beer.
Or maybe a glass of beer.
I threw that in there, Pat.
Hang in there, everybody. Hang in there. We're getting through her.
We will for sure get through it. And of course, working together is the best way we can do that. Paul, did you want to say something?
No, I'm all good. Thank you.
You unmuted yourself, so I thought you might.
Oh, I think I just figured that out.
Oh. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And we will see you, I guess, at the Business After Business next Thursday, if not before.